What's up, YouTube? Hopefully you guys hang around for this video because today we're making a trammel hook. Let's get started.
This video was made in partnership with the Dallas Historical Society.
Alright, so we're working on a trammel hook today, and this is going to be the first video in my short series of making like a camp amp cook set and whatnot. So we're just going to start off with this trammel hook, and then we're going to, next week we'll be doing a tripod, and then the week after that we're going to be making a spit roaster. So just something to look forward to. With camping season coming up, I figured it's kind of good to do kind of a short video series like this. And not to mention, camping gear is probably my biggest seller. So if you're looking for a good blacksmithing project that sells really well, camping gear is what to do. Okay, so to start off with, we're going to go through and work on the main body and get that knocked out first. And to do that, I'm going to taper this end down to a point, and that'll create our main hook. You know, that'll hook on to like our tripod or like a branch or something. It's just anything you're going to have hanging over a fire. So you kind of want this angle to, or this hook to be, you know, a pretty good size diameter. 2 inches, 2.5 inches. That's a pretty good diameter for making this first hook. You know, that way you got plenty of room to, you know, go around anything on the, like that you're going to hang over your fire, or especially if you're going to make like a, you're kind of trekking and you don't want to bring a actual tripod with you, and you just kind of want to make your own spit hanger and whatnot. Just best to give you plenty of width. Just kind of give her a little bit of scroll at the end. Then we'll go through and give it the hook. Alright, something about like that. Alrighty, so I got the excess cut off of this piece. I measured it out to 14 inches. And then I'm just going to kind of pretty this end up a little bit and kind of round it off. That way it's just not some ugly square. Not that it really looks like I'm doing much good at the moment. I got a couple bad ears. But that can be fixed. Alrighty, so nothing that a little bit of filing can't fix. Got those bat ears cut off. Now we're going to go ahead and drill the hole. That'll be on the foot for the trammel hook to pass through. you got to do it first, because there's just no good way of doing it after you get this bent. So you just got to do it before you bend it and stuff. And if you bend it in the vise, then you don't really have to worry too much about the hole deforming thing. So, but anyways, and then what I like to do is I like to go a size larger than the stock I'm using. So I'm going to go a 16th inch, larger than 3/8. So that'd be what, 7/16. I'm going to drill a 7/16 hole here. You want to have a little bit of slop in there because you need to be able to have a little bit of rocking motion in that rod to be able to slide in and out easy of your adjustment holes. But we won't drill those until we have part of our trammel hook done. So we'll wait to do those. But let's go drill this hole. Okay, so we have our main body done, other than the two holes, or other than the adjustment holes, but we have to wait to do those until we get the handle portion done on the trammel hook. Kind of need that to get it to figure out your lowest hole point. So just gotta wait for that until we get the handle done. And so that'll be the next step. So let's go work on that. All right, so we're starting on the actual trammel hook itself. And we're gonna start on the handle portion. That'll be what you grab to adjust, to raise or lower the hook. So for that, we're gonna slightly taper off. I like to call this the spur. It'll be what goes through the adjustment holes on the main body. So we're just kind of giving a little slight taper, just so it makes it a little easier to get into the holes, and then we'll go and bend it around to do the handle part. I like to do this end first, mostly because it's hard to judge how much material you use up doing this part, and it's really easy to figure out how much you need for or how much material you need for a hook. So yeah, it's just easier to start with this end. So just need to kind of clean up my edges now, get it all nice and round, and then we can work on the actual handle. So give yourself, a good few inches, because you're going to bend this 180 on its back on itself. Something about like that. And then, kind of right in here is where we will do another 90-degree bend into it. Make sure everything's kind of laying flat with itself. Something about like that. You could leave it like this. I'm actually going to take this portion over to the horn and give it a nice curve to it.
It just feels better in the hand, and it looks a lot better too than just this. I do like to leave, instead of having this, just a straight bend. I like to give your hook a little bit of a bend down. That way, when it actually goes in the hole, if you got something heavy, you don't want to. It's like if you bump it or something, you don't want it to accidentally fall out or anything, and then drop down. So, I like to just give it a little bit at a back bend, and that way it kind of locks it into the hole a little bit better. All right, something about like that. If you really want to be fancy, this is almost like kind of a good start for like a dragon's head. You could almost weld all that on, or do some kind of decoration with it like that, if you wanted to get fancy with it. But yeah, got this portion all done. Now we'll cool this off, and then we'll go and work on the hook down here. Cut. All right, now that we got the handle portion done for the trammel hook, now we can get our holes set up for our main body, and it's rather technical. So you just slide this in, and right about there is about the lowest you can go with it. So I'm going to make a mark just above that, and that'll be the point for the lowest hole. That's about the easiest way I found to set this up. So, just a little bit of a trick for you. And then after I get that marked out, then I can go through and figure out if I want to do 1.5 or 2 inches between each hole. Also, but that'll be after I get this marked out. I'll come back and I'll show you guys when I'm ready to drill the holes and whatnot. Alrighty, got all the holes marked out, and I got them center punched. Gives us 5 holes. They're spaced out every 2 inches. So, we'll have 10 inches of travel, which is pretty good for a trammel hook. But yeah, let's go get them drilled out. Alrighty, got all the holes drilled, and I got our trammel hook prepped. I got it cut, basing it off the last hole and sticking out out of this foot here. I have it an extra 4 inches of length. That gives me enough material to create the hook on the bottom. That's just something to go off of. This will be about an inch, 1.25 diameter or curve. So, just kind of go off of circumference, and it's a little bit when it goes to, or for that. So, anyways, but I suppose I haven't showed you guys these. It all are going in all the holes. Fitting pretty good. So with this last hole, it does kind of kick out a little bit, but you'll always have that. It really depends on how far out your hole down here is compared to your bend, and you can snug it up closer. I have mine sticking out quite a ways, but I've never ran into an issue where it tries to wedge itself out, especially when I tend to back bend these hooks. So the hook down at the bottom will face the same direction as your point. It kind of forces it, when you get weight on it, it kind of kicks it back in toward this plate and kind of locks it in a little bit more, or kind of cantilevering it. So, And that's what we're going to do next. So let's get started on this hook and wrap this whole project up. Alrighty, got it all done. I conveniently have my lamp stand still here. So it's a good place for a demonstration, along with this lamp. So got it all put together, and whatnot. So there's the first hole. Then you can kind of see how it's forcing itself in, and kind of that weight kind of forces it to kick back a little bit on itself. So, that's why I bend it back like that. But yeah, got her all done, and she looks pretty darn good. So, alrighty, well, got the Trammel hook all done. Camping gear is kind of like my bread and butter. It's really the stuff I sell the most, whether it be like your normal RVers or even reenactors, anywhere and anywhere in between. Camping stuff just sells, especially in Iowa. There's a big camping market, so I'm not so sure on the rest of the country, but Midwest likes to camp at least. So. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for sticking with me all the way to the end. And looking out for next week's video as I make a camping tripod to go along with this Trammel hook. So with that, we will see you all next time.